Good morning, it's Andy with Mountain Computers. It's Saturday, February 16th, and over the past several months I have been doing research on the internet, on websites and SEO, and I have come to this conclusion that WordPress and Wix have some flaws, and it's getting worse by the day because of all the mobility applications and all the need for everything to be mobile first. But what I want to talk about today is when it comes down to setting up a website and domain for your business. In the past several months, I've also helped several businesses get started, and I've also helped older business redo their existing websites. So I want to explain, one, how do you get a website for a business, and number two, how do you make it SEO friendly and get ranked properly in the search engines. So one, let's just role play here for a second, and I'll be Mountain Computers and I'll have a client come in or call me, and they'll say, I'm starting a new business, and I'll say, great. And either they've already talked to somebody and gotten their domain name or not. They already have some ideas or not, or they're just getting started and have no clue. So how did they get my name to begin with? Because I've helped other people successfully. So one of the things that we do is we try and sit down with the person for 15-20 minutes, no charge, just free consulting, and that's it. Not a lot of time. I've gone longer for no value, but then I realize, time is money, and I really need to get people started or allow them to know to wait or find somebody else. So one, when we sit down, I say, okay, so what's your business? And for this example, I'm just going to go ahead and use a business. Hernandez Electric. We just got them started this last couple weeks. And the gentleman who approached us, I can't remember how he found us. I think he just Googled us, and he said, we do websites. And he's in the area. So anyhow, he called, he came, we sat down, we chatted. And so the first thing we needed was, what is he doing and what's his competition? That's the most important thing. What is he trying to do and what's his competition, what's his experience, and where is he at in the whole process? Well, he had already gotten his business license going with the Secretary of State's and the city, so that was great. But he already decided the name, which was Hernandez Electric, LLC. There's no real copyright or trademark infringement that he had to worry about per se, because there's a lot of Hernandez Electrics across the U.S. What else? For one, he was trying to do some billing and some account setups for other services, and he didn't have an email address that was generic enough. So I said, well, what about just Hernandez Electric at some major email provider like Yahoo or Gmail? Well, lo and behold, as luck would have it, Hernandez Electric at Yahoo had not been taken. At Gmail it had been taken, but not at Yahoo, which I think that's karma in itself. So anyhow, what I ended up doing was we secured that right away and set it up and got his phone connected to it. So that was easy. So where's this all going? Well, one of the things with business is you have to have a branding and marketing type of email address, something that people remember. And so Hernandez Electric, that's him, at Yahoo. Everybody knows Yahoo. Everybody knows Gmail. And it's not a mom and pop email provider. It's got to be something to where it's automatically connectable to all devices and phones and secure. So we did that. But as far as Hernandez Electric domain name, I go to GoDaddy for all my domains today. Now, 20 years ago, it was Network Solutions, and Network Solutions had the market cornered because they were the main domain providers in the U.S. Now, there was another one called NetNames in Europe. Most people didn't know about that, but I did. And when the domain name registration deregulated in the late 90s, I believe, Network Solutions was no longer the big dog. GoDaddy started. So what's-his-face did that. So that's where I started with GoDaddy. But I also used windsave.com, which was also a domain provider hosting, which was really cheap. It was like $7 per. Now GoDaddy, a domain, was really cheap. And it still is cheap and affordable. Annually, it's like $10, $12. For a .com, a little more for a .org. .net, .info, .us. All those things are .tv are there for a reason, but most businesses will want to have a .com. So back to Hernandez Electric. So what I did was we got Hernandez Electric NV.com because several of his competitors had their names then NV.com, which seems appropriate. I mean, we tossed and turned for 15-20 minutes going over that, and I finally said, well, let's just do this and get started. Well, when we did that, we went to GoDaddy, set up an account in his name and everything, but put it in my email address so I could manage it for a while. And then once it's all said and done, I hand over all the registration and control to him, which I did within 2 to 3 days. So we got his email, we got his domain. The email was free. The domain was, I think, $12, and that included tax and ICANN fees. If I haven't talked about ICANN before, International Canonical Association of Names and Numbers, they're the big dogs when it comes down to the world of the internet, the World Wide Web. I'll talk more about that in the future. So Hernandez Electric, NV.com, we got. So immediately it said, do you want to add some other things? And I said, no, 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 no. So once that was done, the owner of Hernandez Electric was like, that's cool. Now I have other clients who are electrician companies, but they're all over the place. Some of them are, you know, 10, 20, $100 million. He's just getting started. I've got some other clients that are in his neighborhood, but they're 10, 15 years ahead of him. And with the industry in the area so needing electricians, why would I, you know, not help him? Because we do need more electricians, and good ones, not just anybody, and he's a good one. That's not an endorsement, but I can tell you one thing. I can tell good, professional, reasonable business owners when I see them and talk to them. So not all customers are perfect, but for business owners, you want somebody with really the right kind of thinking, the right kind of level-headedness, and you give them help. I can't do everything for them, but when it comes down to the domain, the website design, the hosting, economically and supportable and easy for him to control and manage, and me to help him if he needs help. So we got the domain name Hernandez Electric, NV.com. And that's important because when it comes to SEO, your business name and your domain name need to somehow match. Now, not necessarily. I do have clients that their business name and their DBA name with the Secretary of State's office and the Washoe County fictitious name don't match. That's just for legal reasons. When it comes to the domain name, depends on the industry. You want a domain name that is in their genre. Like, well, I could name a couple, but they're sort of sensitive. So all I'm going to say is, when you Google or you Yahoo search or you Bing search, and those are the three primary ones. DuckDuckGo is one now for search engines. When you type in the name and your regional business, and you're just getting started, think global, but stay local. You want the domain name to apply to what people are looking for. People won't think of Hernandez Electric off the top of their head, but it depends on how he's marketing and branding his business. So I got to remember that this video is only good for 30 minutes, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. So business, Secretary of State, city, his contractor's license, all that stuff was done. His marketing signage for his vans was done. I was working with the signage people to do the vinyl on his truck to see what their logos and colors were going to look like. So get back to GoDaddy, we did this one pager, which was immediately mobile friendly and automatically SSL encrypted using Let's Encrypt, which is a free service. And I was really amazed by that. All of that just came together and it was free. However, it's very, it's constrained, but for him getting started, this is just stage one. We just got to get up and running. We can move him later on down the line to something different. Inexpensively. I'm not going to nickel and dime this guy to death, but I do want him to know that to get started is not that hard. Domain name, where you're going to host it, the GoDaddy one-page thing was perfect for him to get started. I needed artwork, I needed graphics. The people that did his business cards, the people that did his vinyl, all that stuff they gave me because they have to, because the owner, they can send it to the owner, and then he can send it to me, or they can just send it to me directly. And vice versa. If I do something for a client, they need me to ship it to somebody, it's their stuff. You know, I don't own the rights to it. It's their business. Now, I've seen businesses that do that, and that's unethical, where they create the artwork for the business owner, the owner pays for it, and then they reserve the right to keep it and only give it to them because they created it. That's not right. So, back to the domain name. Email address, domain name, and then the SEO stuff. The SEO search engine meta tags have to be right. Domain name, title, description, keywords. So, three things. Title, keywords, description, page one, mobile friendly, secure, and the domain name. Those all have to work together. And if you don't get that right, when you turn the site on, when the first search engines come and pick that up right away, and this is the reason why I'm doing this video, is because I saw some bad information out there from Wix and a couple other SEO experts, they call themselves, that say when you create a domain, it'll take 3 months for the search engines to come and get you. That's not true. The first time through is rather immediate. Then it's 2 to 3 weeks later, but it depends on how you program the website to begin with that determines how often they come back. If it's a blog, they might come back daily. If it's just a static website that's not going to change but once a year, maybe not. But you have to know that going in, because once you release that the first time, that's going to tell the world who I am, what I'm doing, and why. Now, if my business is, I'm just going to do some phone number, contact information, some pictures, and I'm not going to change anything, they'll probably not come back to you for a while. But then that's where a sitemap comes in and some other things. So this is a crash course on a website, domain, email address, some SEO meta tags. I'm not going to talk about software that manages them, and a sitemap. I think that's it. But this is important. You got to get this right the first time, and you don't release the website to the public until all of those elements are agreed upon and working properly. The content will come. The pictures will come. Then you go into like Yelp. For him, we did Yelp. We made sure we claimed his businesses. You got to do all these things right away, because you got to do it right away, and you got to do it right. And somebody like me, we want to do it right, so I got to pull some information out of the owners. Some owners are easier than others. This guy at Hernandez Electric was awesome. We really, saw eye to eye on how things to work, and he was amazed that it didn't take weeks or months. It only took like 2 to 3 hours. A couple hours on my own, but that was fun. So anyhow, like, subscribe, comment, ask questions, and look at some of the links I have down in the description to help you with your business, your website, your SEO marketing, your branding, and just some basic getting started. So have a great day. It's Saturday. I'm going to post this right away, and more to come. Thanks for watching. This is Andy from Mountain Computers. Have a great day.